Let's look at the steps for factoring one type of polynomial that we can see. Specifically, I want to factor polynomials that look like this, that look like x squared plus bx plus c. So the leading coefficient, the coefficient on the x squared term is a 1, so I've just got 1x squared, and then any number of bx, or any number of x's, and then any constant. So the way that I do this is first, I want to find factors of c that sum or add up to b. Okay, so watch your signs for sure, because notice this is a plus here. So c, if that's a minus that last number, then you have factors of a negative number. And if c is a plus here at the end, it might be two negative numbers. Okay, so anyway, find factors of c, list them out, find the ones that add up to b. Step 2, you should just be able to write your answer, assuming you found those, to write x plus your first factor. Of course, if your first factor was negative, you'd want x minus instead. And then x plus your second factor. Okay, that should be your answer, but you should check by multiplying. Okay, make sure that you got the right thing by multiplying. The more multiplying of binomials you've done, the easier this should be, and the reason that we're doing the steps we are should be more clear. But I just want the process here. Find factors of c that add up to b, factors of your constant that add up to the coefficient on x. Write out x plus those factors, and then check by multiplying. So let's look at an example here. I want to factor x squared minus x minus 56. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a list of the factors of negative 56, and then I'm going to find what they add up to, and I want what b is. So b is the coefficient on plus x, so I want them to add up to negative 1. Okay, so find factors of c that add up to b. Now, if you don't know what those factors are, I'd suggest starting at the beginning. Certainly 1 is a factor of negative 56, and it's 1 times negative 56. Okay, those two numbers multiply together to be 56, but when I add them up, 1 plus negative 56 is negative 55. That is not the value I'm looking for. Okay, so maybe the signs are incorrect, since I've got a positive and a negative. What if it's negative 1 times positive 56? Negative 1 times positive 56 is certainly 56. Negative 1 plus positive 56, though, is 55, and I wanted negative 1. Okay, so it wasn't 1, and actually we know my negative number has to be the bigger one if I'm going to end up with negative 1. So we can only check factors where the second number, or the larger number, is negative. Okay, so let's go to 2. 56 is even, so it must be divisible by 2. 56 is 2 times negative 28. Sorry, negative 56 is 2 times negative 28. If I add those together, I get negative 26, so that's not correct. 56 is not divisible by 3, so 3 doesn't have a pair or partner, but it is divisible by 4. 56 is 4, sorry, negative 56 is 4 times negative 14. 4 plus negative 14 is negative 10. That's not quite right. 56 is not divisible by 5, because it doesn't end in a 5 or 0. It's not divisible by 6, because it wasn't divisible by 3, but it is divisible by 7. Negative 56 is 7 times negative 8, and those guys add up to negative 1. Aha. Okay, there are the factors of c that add up to b. So now what I need to do is write x plus this first factor of 7 times x, and I would do plus negative 8, but instead I'll just write minus 8, x minus 8. I believe those are the factors of x squared minus x minus 56. To double check, I can just multiply and see, but I want to note, this is my answer, right? This is my factored. And now we'll check by multiplying. Guess I didn't change colors. Oh well. So if I want to check, I can use that FOIL method. X times x is x squared. And then my outside is x times minus 8 is minus 8x. And then my inside is 7 times x, which is 7x. And then my last is 7 times minus 8 is negative 56. That's x squared. See, minus 8 plus 7 is minus x minus 56. I got back where I started, so I'm quite certain that x plus 7 times x minus 8 is the answer. Okay, I'm going to do a few more. So let's factor x squared plus 7x plus 12. Okay, again, I want factors of 12, and I'm going to find their sum, and I want that sum to be 7. I want it to be the b value, so 7. Factors of 12. 1 times 12 is 12. That's 13. That's no good. 2 times 6 is 12. That's 8. That's not 7. That's no good. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 plus 4 is 7. That's the pair that I want. Now, as you do more of these, you get better at not needing to go through every number, right? If you look at 12 and you say, what factors of 12 add up to 7, you probably came up with 3 and 4 or 4 and 3 right away. And that gives you x plus 3 times x plus 4 should be your factors. We can do a quick check. So first, x times x is x squared. Outside, x times 4 is 4x. Inside, 3 times x is 3x. And last, 3 times 4 is 12. That's x squared plus 7x plus 12. That is what we started with, right? Yes, indeed. So my answer is this, x plus 3 times x plus 4. Okay, another one. So here, got x squared minus 8x minus 7, or plus 7. Again, note, this is just an x squared. If that was a 2x squared or a 5x squared or anything with a number on x squared, I could not factor this way. But it's not, so we can. So I want factors of 7, and I want them to add up to negative 8. Well, 1 times 7 is 7, but that adds up to 8, and that's not what I want. Now, you may feel like, well, but those are the only factors. However, you need to remember that 7, positive 7, is also negative 1 times negative 7. Okay, those are factors of positive 7. And negative 1 plus negative 7 is negative 8. That means these factors should be x minus 1 times x minus 7. And again, just a quick check. X times x is x squared. X times minus 7 is minus 7x. Minus 1 times x is minus 1x. And minus 1 times 7 is positive 7. X squared minus 8x plus 7 is right. So that guy is my answer. Those are my factors of x squared minus 8x plus 7. Okay, last one. Again, note the just x squared, so I can use this method. And I want factors of 15. And I want their sum to be 5. Okay, 15 is 1 times 15. That's 16. It's also negative 1 times negative 15. But I want a positive number, so that's no good. 15 is not divisible by 2, but it's divisible by 3. It's 3 times 5, which is 8. It's in 5. 15 is not divisible by 4. It is divisible by 5, but I already did that. Right? I don't need to come back and do 5 and 3, because I already did 3 times 5. Now, I have exhausted all the factors of 15. And I know that I did, because 15 is 3 times 5. And the only ways to match those up are 1 times 15 and 3 times 5. Since I was not able to find a pair of factors that added up to 5, I cannot factor this polynomial. So I cannot factor x squared plus 5x plus 15, at least not over the rational numbers, which is what we're really talking about doing here. So that means since I can't factor it, I call it the same thing that I call numbers whose only factor is 1 in themselves, who are greater than 1. I call it prime. So x squared plus 5x plus 15 is prime. Okay, it is a prime polynomial. There's no way to write it as linear factors that just have rational numbers in them.